This episode is brought to you by Hasa. Liquid is clearly better. Liquid chlorine is the highest purity, works immediately, has no added cyanuric acid or calcium, and it will leave your pool safe, clean, and clear. And by the Bottom Feeder professional grade battery powered vacuum system. It sucks to clean pools, so cleaning pools sucks less. Get $100 off with code DVB100.
This episode is brought to you by Skimmer, the #1 pool service software in North America. With Skimmer, you can streamline your schedule, grow your revenue, and keep your customers coming back with 5-star service. Whether you're a one-person operation or an established team, Skimmer is your partner in success. Visit getskimmer.com/poolguy to try Skimmer for free for 30 days.
The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show.
Hi, welcome to the Pool Guy Podcast Show. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you how a green pool can enhance your service, green pool service, green pool cleanups, however you want to put them, and how this can really make your pool service shine and take it to the next level, believe it or not. Are you a pool service pro looking to take your business to the next level? Join the Pool Guy Coaching Program. Get expert advice, business tips, exclusive content, and get direct support. For me, I'm a 35-year veteran in the industry. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, I've got the tools to help you succeed. Learn more at swimmingpoollearning.com. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with green pools. I really like the results of turning them around, but I really don't like the process of doing the green pool cleanups one bit. It's messy, it's smelly, it's time-consuming. It can be a real headache. And it's one of those things where it's really satisfying when you become the hero to the customer. You did something that they never thought you'd be able to do. I had a plaster company that needed to replaster a green pool. And of course, here you couldn't drain a green pool into the street, or you couldn't drain it into the sewer. There was regulations, and he was by the book. So he hired me to turn his pool around. The only problem is he had to drain the pool within that week. So I got there and I did my green pool cleanup method, and he was pretty amazed at the results. I mean, it was almost more or less to him a miracle that it turned out so good so quickly so you can drain the pool and replaster it. But that's kind of what you set yourself up for when you do it correctly. It's one of those things where it can really enhance your reputation for your business. A green pool cleanup video or photo slide on your website really is impressive. So if you have a website you're building, I would really urge you to do a green pool cleanup, document it with a video, with photos from the beginning to end, 24 hours later, 40 hours later, 1 week later kind of thing. And this will really enhance your website because a lot of people will be searching, if you even tag your SEO green pool cleanup specialist, or if you're doing Google ads and you want to advertise green pool cleanup, having, of course, a website where you show that you can do this is a plus for sure. So if you're starting out in a business, a green pool cleanup or offering green pool cleanup services can really move the needle in your service business as far as getting clients, getting a good reputation out there as someone who can do this. And you may even get some calls from commercial pools, if they look at your website. A lot of times when someone's looking for something, a manager of a property, they're going to Google, and if you have a Google ad running at that moment saying you do green pool cleanup, chances are the manager will actually click on your site, and there's a potential to be hired to do the commercial green pool cleanup and to bring that onto service. Now, of course, you have to be set up with the CPO certification, the right liability insurance, or be certified by the county health inspector before you do commercial pools. But that's also an avenue sometimes into the commercial pool market. So let me just back up a little bit and talk about a few identifying factors when you do a green pool cleanup. If this is going to be something that's going to enhance your reputation or something that you simply probably shouldn't do and walk away from. The first thing that I would say is recognize that the pool is green for a reason. Now, discovering that reason sometimes is very easy. Just ask the client, and that's what I do. Oh, what happened to the pool? Why is it green? Simple question. The answer should be relatively simple. Now, if the answer is convoluted, they're going down rabbit holes, they're not getting you the facts of why it's green, one red flag right there. It's not a deal breaker if they don't understand why their pool is green. Some people don't understand why their pool turned green. That's normal if they're new to pools and don't understand the concept of how a pool operates. But you would want to know, did they just buy the house and the pool is neglected? Were they trying to do it themselves and just couldn't do it? Which is the case in a lot of the cases are they were trying to clean it, keep it clean, and couldn't do it. I remember doing this massive 30,000 gallon green pool cleanup. The person's husband had passed away. The boys tried to take care of the pool, couldn't do it, and it was pretty massively bad as well. There was mosquito larvae, tadpoles in the pool. They let it go a long time before they called in for someone to clean it. The only reason they called in somebody to do it is because vector control got involved, the city, and they told them they had to turn it around or pay fines and all these things. And this is very common, by the way, for some green pool cleanups, is that you have vector control. In my area, that's what it's called, where the city may cite the customer and have wanting to turn it around. So if they don't get to that citation or that kind of thing, they don't address it in some cases. Sometimes they do, of course, but some cases they don't. So in this particular pool, it had an undersized filter. It was a 48 square foot D filter, Hayward filter. I remember the details, and even though it was like 15 years ago, I remember the details vividly because it was a mess of a pool to clean up because it was so big with an undersized filter. I think I cleaned that filter 6 times. I can't remember exactly how many times, but at least 6 times I cleaned that filter to get it back in shape. But the thing is, I was inexperienced when I was doing this, relatively inexperienced in converting it to a service account. And so I really took this pool on without the thought of making it a service account. And this was a mistake. I realized that all that effort I put into it, basically I did it just to get the city to clear it, the citation, and she tried to take care of it herself. And I guess she did a decent job. It probably didn't turn that green again, but it was probably something that I should have considered. And the first consideration, of course, is why the pool turned green. And the second consideration should be, can you bring this pool on as a service client? I wouldn't want this pool anyway, so I probably shouldn't have done the cleanup because I don't want a 30,000 gallon pool with an undersized filter in the situation where the customer couldn't really afford to upgrade anything. So the second consideration is when you go to bid, find out why it's green. And then number 2, would this be a good service account going forward for you? If that answer is no, you wouldn't want this pool going forward, then maybe you would want to bid this one pretty high. And so this is kind of how you get out of the situation when you go to bid a green pool. You don't want to do service on this pool. It's really not good business practice to flat out say, I just don't want to do this pool. I don't want to clean this pool up and find someone else. Probably don't want to do that, but you can do it in other ways that are less subtle. You could let them know that, number 1, you could just say, after seeing the pool, I could probably do it, but at this point, I'm just a little bit busy, kind of overbooked, and I advise you to call someone else to do it because I won't be able to get around to it for probably another week or so or 2. And then you can also overbid it, and this is something that a lot of people do to get out of the situation. So normally, you look at the pool, it'd be $800 for you to do it normally. Just go ahead and bid them $1,300. No one really gets upset with a high bid because they know people are going to bid high in certain situations, and you can just walk away. Now, if they accept the bid, then of course that's your benefit because now you can clean it and you're going to get extra money, but you really didn't want to do it, so overbidding probably gets you off the hook and someone else will come there and do it and bid that pool. You just don't want to leave a bad impression on the customer that you're a flake or you're not a good service company. And the Pool Guy Podcast Show has teamed up with UPA to bring you affordable, reliable liability insurance starting at just $64 a month. Get up to $2 million in coverage, and the members of my coaching group get an even lower rate. Protect your business and your peace of mind. Sign up with UPA today by clicking the link in the podcast description. But at the same time, if you don't want the account, don't take that account. So 1 and 2, you covered that. And let's say that, yes, this is a pool that you would probably want to take on for service. So what you want to do is approach the customer with this sales pitch. This is what I normally do when I see a pool. Let's say the equipment's in pretty good shape. The pool is green because they just bought the house and they forgot to hire pool service. It's been four weeks now. The pool turned green on them. And they would be willing to go on to pool service. Now, here's how you see if they're willing or not. Give them a quote for the green pool cleanup. I'll just use $800 as a quote. Tell them that you're going to give them $100 off if they come on to weekly service. And a lot of times people will be like, sure, I mean, I can't do this pool and I realize that there's no way I can do it. What's your service rate? That's fine. Go ahead and start after you get the green pool cleaned up. Going to start next month. Not a problem. Perfect. You have an account. You can clean up the green pool and now you have a service account. I really think that is the goal of the green pool cleanups. It shouldn't be, now yes, if you do need it for your website, do it, but it shouldn't be just to do the green pool, get the money, and walk away. Because really, the green pool is a good lead-in to a service account, and that's how you should look at it. Now, granted, if you're starting out and you need work and you're trying to do as many jobs as possible, doing a green pool cleanup and walking away is perfectly fine. But if you're trying to build up your business or build up your route, I would use the green pool cleanups as a lead-in to service for sure. And 100%, I wouldn't do a green pool cleanup. Let's say you have 70 accounts and you want to get to 80. I wouldn't really do the green pool cleanup unless they're going to come on the service and then you have 71 accounts and then 72, so forth. Because to me, you want to build up your weekly service. And doing this green pool is going to take time and effort. And if there's nothing at the end of it except a paycheck, I would say pass on it because you really want to multiply this green pool into a yearly paycheck. And I'll just give you a quick example. Let's just say that your monthly service rate is $185 a month and you get this green pool cleaned up and you get them on for service as well. So 12 months of that is $2,220. Plus you did the green pool cleanup for $700. So that green pool netted you almost $3,000. $2,920 is your net for that green pool cleanup. Much better than if you did the green pool cleanup for $800 and got nothing out of it. So mathematically, you want to focus on retaining the customer after the green pool cleanup or passing on that green pool cleanup, finding another one. And there's going to be plenty of those out there, by the way, especially in the summertime, beginning of summer. A lot of green pools out there. And if you are doing Google ads and you have a green pool ad up there, you're going to get hits on that for sure. So don't waste time. What I'm saying is don't waste time on a green pool cleanup when nothing comes out of it and you can't get a multiplier out of it for future pool service. I'm going to back up a little bit now and go back to the initial green pool assessment. Now, if you get there, and let's just say that it's green because of neglect. Number 2, the client wants to come on for service. So right there you have 1 and 2 covered. But then you run into this problem, and this is very common, where the equipment is substandard for the green pool cleanup to be successful. Now, this is something that you'd have to try to approach the customer with to see if this was even feasible. And that is, I noticed that your filter, I'm talking to the customer right now, I noticed that your filter actually needs new elements. For this green pool cleanup to work, your cartridge filters need to be replaced. Here's the amount it would cost for me to install them. Or I noticed that your filter needs new DE grids for this process to work. Here's the cost of the grid assembly. I like selling the grid assembly, by the way, because I'm not talking to the customer anymore. I'm back, if you're wondering. I like selling the grid assembly. I probably should do this a little cleaner because the grid assembly is the top manifold, bottom manifold, everything together. You just take out their old DE grids and push this one in, put that one in there, and then away you go. Now, if the customer, while you're approaching them to upgrade the filter, doesn't want to do it, then of course you're going to walk away from this green pool cleanup because it can't be done unless they have new filter elements. You know this from experience, that using the old cartridges is not going to work even after the fact. The pool's going to turn green again or get algae right away. The second thing is the pool motor and pump. This is especially important for the green pool cleanup if you're not going to do the flock method where you add aluminum sulfate you're doing the shock and awe method where you're running the pool 24 hours a day, even after the flock method, you want to run the pool a long time. So this also is a factor. If the pump and motor are on their last leg, you really have to approach the customer and let them know that one of the factors or one of the reasons why the pool may be green is because the pump and motor are not running effectively. And if you do the green pool cleanup, you might be able to be successful in doing it with the existing pump and motor, which you're going to have to probably do in most cases anyway. But afterwards, they really need to upgrade their equipment, especially if they're coming on the service. So I would give them an all-around bid for the green pool cleanup, a new pump and motor, or a new motor maybe, if that's the case. And then, of course, any filter elements they're going to need, and then your monthly service rate. Now, if the customer is okay with all of that, then you've just gotten a client, because you can do the green pool cleanup and do all the other stuff. But if they're not okay with that, again, you'd have to pull the plug right here and walk away and let someone else handle the green pool cleanup, because there's really nothing in it for you afterwards. You're not going to get any pump and motor install fee. You're not going to get the account. You're just going to clean the green pool, and then the pool's going to limp along after the process. And by the way, this may be a problem for you as well after the fact. If you take on a green pool cleanup, you get it back in shape, but the customer does nothing with the filter elements or the equipment, there's a good chance that that pool will turn green again or have algae problems going forward. And then they're going to look at your company as, well, you did the green pool cleanup, it looked blue for a while, now it's green again, or now it has a lot of algae. You failed in some way. To eliminate that, I would say, unless the customer knows all the variables, filter elements, sometimes you have to change the sand in the filter if it's a sand filter, equipment upgrades. All these are factors they need to be aware of. Otherwise, they may look back at you as a company that failed them, even though you didn't fail. It's the equipment failure. But unless you point that out or are clear about that, that could be a problem for your reputation in the area and for your pool service going forward. I think the big takeaway here is that the green pool cleanup process is not cut and dry. It's not really simple. You show up, you do a bid, do the green pool cleanup. There are a lot of layers here that you have to unpack, and it's not something quite as easy as you think. Yes, turning the green pool around, if you have experience, is a pretty easy process, but there are these layers underneath that you have to address and be aware of. And if you don't look at it as a complete package and all these layers underneath it, you could set yourself up for some trouble and some failure. And so you want to be very clear to the customer, the green pool cleanup process, what you expect afterwards, what you want them to invest in. And ultimately, I think you can turn a lot of these green pools into clients, into making your reputation in the area really big and making you a green pool cleanup expert, I guess, quote unquote, and getting clients from that level of expertise. And if you're looking for other podcasts, you can go to my website, swimmingpoollearning.com. On the banner, there's a podcast icon. Click on that. There'll be a drop-down menu with over 1,900 podcasts you to listen to there as well. And if you're interested in a coaching program that I offer, you can learn more at poolguycoaching.com. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless. This episode is brought to you by HASA, providing products that deliver clean, healthy water for every aspect of everyday life. The bottom feeder battery-powered vacuum system, portable, powerful, and only weighs 12 pounds. And Skimmer. Get Skimmer, America's #1 pool service software. Podcast listeners can try Skimmer for free at getskimmer.com/poolguy.